Alright, so we are going to be doing a video now that I am very excited to do. A show that is very nostalgic to my heart, you know. We're going to be doing a Walking Dead season ranked list. Now, I did have the idea originally to do the Walking Dead Comic-Con trailers ranked video, or a tier list for all the Comic-Con trailers that we've had. Since we just had you might hear my girlfriend in the background too, because she's playing games right now. And the computer, it makes a weird noise, so I'm sorry about that too. But anyway, I wanted to do a Comic-Con ranked trailers video since we just got the new season 11 trailer. But I'm really still kind of not sure the format I want to do that in. If I want to do it like I don't know, show the trailers, react to it, and then rank it, or I can't even find a pre-made tier list for something like that. So I'm still kind of jumping around with that idea. But in the meantime, since we just had the new season 11 trailer, I figured, you know what, let's get on the Walking Dead train, and we'll do a seasons ranked list. So I'm gonna try to not go on too much about this, because all my tier lists go on for too long. But at the same time, I am very passionate and knowledgeable, I want to say, about the show. So I may want to say a little bit on each one. So let's start off. Season 1, Frank Darabont, he did just such a unique job with seasons 1 and 2. Had a great, very quality feel to it, very gritty, like a modern Western, I don't know if some of that is because it was all new and it's our first time seeing some of that, or I think a lot of it is just, Frank Darabont, however you say it, just added a real, I don't know, quality, completely different feel in season 1 and 2 than the rest of the show. Very quality. I'm always so curious where the show would have went if he was still in charge of it, because he was setting up some things, with the governor and things like that early on in season 1. It seems like, I think he would have took it to a place. I mean, we've gotten some great stuff throughout the other seasons, but I think he had a certain quality that we'll just never get again, and it has such nostalgia, of course, as well. Even though it is only just 6 episodes, so I think it's gonna have to go in amazing, right? In season 2, now this one is one that a lot of people, I feel, either love or hate. Or not hate, but they just think it's boring, right? And the budget was lacking in this season. That's why, a big reason why I think Frank Darabont left, because he couldn't do what he wanted to a lot with season 2, and he had to keep it on the farm and stuff like that, because he just didn't have the money to do anything else with it. But through that, I think we got some of the best character development, best character moments, most memorable moments, nostalgic stuff, for me at least, that we have gotten in the whole show thus far. Just really nostalgic stuff on the farm, and that slow-paced storytelling can be good sometimes. It's almost a lot of times better to be slow than to be rushed. I think we'll get to how that works out in season 3, because season 3 was rushed to me, yeah, season 2 is one of my favorites. Still to this day, a lot of nostalgia with it. So I think it's going to have to go in amazing as well. Like I said, I know some people think it's slow, and it is, but it's a good kind of slow for me, and still have that different Frank Darabont feel to it. And then season 3, oh man, now this is, I guess, an unpopular opinion with a lot of people as well, but for me, man, season 3 was a real letdown. The trailers for it looked great, but it was just, I think they were trying so hard. Who was it that did season 3? I think it was Glenn Mazzara. Season 3, let me make sure I'm still recording. I always get worried with this OBS. Am I recording? Yes. But Glenn Mazzara took over in season 3, and they really wanted to pick up the pace from season 2. And that's okay, it's okay. So you can go fast paced if your storytelling is still good, right? And I feel like a lot of it was absolutely written episode to episode for season 3, no doubt. It felt like they were like, oh, and this happens, and then this happens, but why does it happen, and what happens next? I don't know. But right now, it felt so week to week written, and it wasn't, right? The only thing that saves this season for me is, of course, you get Merle, you get Michonne, And for the first time in The Walking Dead, I think you see a different perspective with Woodbury, right? You don't see everything from Rick and their group's perspective, which was interesting, and I think David Morrissey was fine as the governor. It's just their wishy-washiness with just the whole season overall really brought it down for me. Just a lot of comic stuff that I was looking forward to see adapted in a certain way, and it just wasn't what I wanted to see, right? It was just such a mess, and the ending was so disappointing, God, with where they just like ran out of story. They almost ran out of story with this season, right? Killed off Merle way too quick. Oh man, as you can tell, I'm putting this somewhere pretty low, right? Because it's only saved just by, I mean, it was pretty dark, Oh, and they brought in Tyrese and shit and ruined his character, one of the best comic book characters, and he was just flopped. I felt like at the time he was put in the background because of Daryl. But yeah, it's nostalgic now, definitely. But back in the day, man, I just wasn't feeling it. But like I said, for the nostalgia now, it's just alright.
It's just quick if you don't have a gun.
And it's still, and the dialogue is good in this season, though. I'll say it's not, whenever they do have some dialogue, it's not as soap opera as it becomes later on, right? I'll give it that. But I'm just going to have to say, I think decent, right? Is it just decent? It's either decent or good. Entertaining. I feel like the way this tier list, this is just a pre-made tier list. I don't know if entertaining. I think like good and entertaining maybe should be swapped. But I'm gonna say it's just decent, right? Because it's really still down on the list for me. Season 4, they had to. So yeah, moving on to season 4, they had to throw in some added story with the sickness, like I said, because they blew their wads so much in season 3. Again, I'm gonna go back to shit on this season right now, even though we're on to season 4. They had a good opportunity to have Merle and T-Dog meet up again, and they killed off T-Dog just because they didn't think far enough ahead to be like, oh well, we can have him meet up with Merle. I don't think so. It's just like they had such an opportunity there to build up anticipation for that, and it's, oh man, such a shame. But season 4, solid season. I definitely like the second half a lot from the mid-season finale with the big, they did it justice. They corrected season 3 with the Too Far Gone episode, right? Awesome. Exactly what the war between the governor and Rick should have been, pretty much, what I wanted from the comic. And then like the split, what is it? The split storytelling in the second half worked, whereas it didn't work in something like, I'm going to say, I think it's season 7 off the top of my head, but it worked for this because it was interesting to see each little character get a hint, in each episode of where the other characters were at, right, in that second half. And then as far as the first half of season 4 goes, I'll say, it was just, it was fine, I guess, it's not really that season's fault that they had to make up for the mistakes of season 3. I feel like Gimple took over in season 4, I think, and that's what they had to do with it. Was kind of just a fixer, and I guess it was just fine for that. Yeah, the second half for season 4, very solid, a lot of anticipation to see the characters meet up again, and then with Terminus, the build up to that as well, super awesome. So I'm going to say it was entertaining for sure. That second half of season 4 is really what brings it up there for me, not so much the first half. So then we got season 5, which is a lot of people's big time favorite. For me, let's see. So the first half, was cool, was great. Oh yeah, it was great. I'm trying to remember some of this as I go along, but the first half with the hunters, way too short. With the build up for it, it was just very two pump chump, done and done. But it was great, it was good, super badass, super memorable, dark stuff with the hunters. I would have liked a little bit more of the creepy, like hunted in the woods aspect, right? Just a little bit more than what we got. But the church scene, legendary. The breaking out of Terminus scene, badass and legendary as well. But yeah, it was just too short. To move on to this hospital storyline with Beth, a character that I didn't really care about, and there was a whole storyline revolved around her. So the only thing that I'll really say I liked about that Beth storyline for the first half of season 5 was the scenery, right? Is cool. with seeing Atlanta and everything again. That was really cool. And Rick donning in the police car. Again, this is again though. Look, in season 5, we're going back to make up for some story that should have been in season 3, with Rick hitting the police officer or whatever. But that turned out to be really cool, right? Because he's a bad cop. He was a good cop. He's a bad cop now. But yeah, Rick going badass mode in season 5 is awesome, super memorable, and leads into the second half with the setup in Alexandria, which was all really good, slow, well done, felt well thought out. For the most part, you trickle Morgan in there as well, which was good. Again, well set up, earned. The Wolves storyline was set up really nice in there for season 6. And then you get Morgan at the end, an awesome legendary moment. I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff here and there for each season, but I think I'm covering most of it off the top of my head. So yeah, season 5, pretty solid, like I said, except for the hospital storyline. Just cool for the scenery for the most part. Yikes. But yeah, I think it's going to have to go up there as well, because like I said, like season 4, the second half of 5 was really solid, and a nice change of pace, to see the characters like wild animals in the Alexandria environment of what it was when they first got there. So let's see, season 6, starting to set up. Well, let's see where it started. So we get the setup to No Way Out storyline, the storyline in the comics where all the walkers get into Alexandria. I was worried whenever we were building up to this, because I don't know if we're gonna get there. I don't know if we're gonna get there, at least from the trailers and stuff. I didn't really see it going there, but it did get there. We got the No Way Out storyline, which was awesome, very well done, another legendary episode. The build up to that, I think, was fine, with the quarry and everything. The Glenn fake out, that was super big at the time. I don't really have any problems with it. It was well done. All the teasers that they had up to Glenn dying, and then whenever he gets to the actual point with Negan, you're like, oh, maybe he'll get out of this one, but no, not that one. So No Way Out storyline, awesome. The Wolves, I think it was in one of the first episodes of the season, was just bad, a brutal episode of everybody at Alexandria just getting absolutely butchered. And then we get Morgan back, which was super cool as well, just to look forward to him and Rick interacting again. Trailer for this season was super cool, by the way. See, I got a lot to say about the trailers. That's why I wanted to do a trailer ranked video. But anyway, so, and then in the second half, we get the lead up to the Saviors, which I was super surprised when it came. Thought it was coming a little bit early, but especially we got Dwight in there early with Daryl, which was cool to see. Let's see. And then the build up to Negan at the end, the cliffhanger, of course, sucked, shouldn't have happened. Right, everybody's pretty agreeable on that. But yeah, overall, solid season. Rick and Michonne's relationship develops, as you can see the little poster here. So yeah, I think those are all the big moments. But yeah, overall, solid season, and definitely had an anticipation feel in that second half, right, leading up to Negan. And then the first half was pretty action-packed as well. So this one might be an amazing, right? It might be an amazing for me. I mean, honestly, after I talk about seasons 4 and 5, they seem like they should be an amazing as well, right? But they're, I don't know, entertaining and amazing. Honestly, the line between these are very close. I'll just say that. The line between these are very close. And seasons 1 and 2, they just have so much nostalgia. But yeah, I think 6 is going to have to go in amazing. And like I said, 5 is very close behind. A lot of this filler stuff that I didn't like between seasons 4 and 5 as well, it could have been fixed if not for season 3. You see what I'm saying? God. So anyway, I'm gonna move season 3 mediocre right after I keep talking crap about it. Okay, so season 7. So, Negan, the first few episodes that they had with Negan, that man, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, they killed his performance, or he killed his performance. All the writing and stuff behind him, they even added some stuff in the comic, in the premiere, for him, like torturing Rick, like to cut Carl's arm off and stuff, just to give him the power, right? Man, they really killed it with Negan, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan did a great job. Some scenes just leap off the page, from the comic, like when he's going to Alexandria for the first time, and whenever he has Carl at the sanctuary, just amazing stuff. You get the kind of Dwight and Daryl conflict too, which is kind of cool. But overall, you know what? I know this season gets a lot of hate, and I think a lot of that for the first half at least is because it's very depressing, right? As it's supposed to be, and you're supposed to feel that. But apart from the Negan stuff, I will say, my problem with it that most people have, like I said, it's so depressing. These certain characters down. I want them to kill Negan, whatever. Well, yeah, you're supposed to feel that way, idiot. Of course. I mean, what are you talking about? But my problem with this is the way the storytelling is so chopped up. Yeah, it's if they had blended the first half of season 7 together, I think it would have been so much better, like how Game of Thrones is or something like that, right? I don't think it really worked for this all that well. I think we should have had just a little bit of everything around. Because what was it? Were these some of the first episodes that we just didn't have Rick in it at all? I think, you know, it's just, you know, I know why they had to, like, they kept Rick and stuff out of all the trailers and stuff, but then to keep him out of whole episodes too, and other characters, right? It just felt very dry. I know they had a lot of world building to set up with stuff at the hilltop and the kingdom as well, you know. But yeah, just if it could have been blended, man, it definitely would have been a lot better. But for that, like I said, there's some good comic accurate stuff in here for sure. That's really well done. But then also it just needs to be blended heavily. So yeah, it's a tough one. And then for the second half of season 7, let's see, what can we get for that? Oh yeah, they start to kind of rise up. They get meet the Junkyard people, which was kind of strange. It's one of those Gimple things put in there. I think Scott Gimple, where he's trying to set up his own, you know, Walking Dead stories, I guess, because they're like into the CRM crap. You know, that's not in the comics. You can't tell, I'm not really a big fan of stuff that's not in the comics, right? I want my full adaptation, unless it's like doing things that are in the comic, but a little bit better, you know, than the comic should have did them. Not just new content entirely for the most part, I'm not a fan of. But yeah, we get a lot with the Junkyard people, you know, it just felt very strange. And then, you know, they kind of start to, like I said, build up strength at the end there. One scene sticks out in my mind where Negan almost kills Carl. That still bothers me to this day because that's just out of character for him in the comic. I don't know what they were thinking with that. But yeah, so the second, the whole thing is just kind of, I guess, just okay. The second half, it seems to be a theme. The second half better than the first. Yeah. So for this one, goodness, am I just gonna have to say decent? I feel like I am, because honestly, like when I look back at a lot of episodes in season 7, like I said, unless it's like Negan stuff, you know, some of his funny stuff, or iconic scenes, it's dull, right? It's kind of dull, honestly, even though it's not just because it's depressing, it's supposed to be, but like I said, it just needs to be blended more. And a lot of the dialogue in here, sometimes in Walking Dead, you know, it can be very melodramatic, and I felt like it was kind of heavy in that season as well. Alright, and then moving on to season 8, we're just for the fact that they killed Carl, it's going here, right? Just for the fact they killed Carl, man. Yikes. So, you know, the war overall, I think, should have been darker, and it should have been a lot less heavily in the first half of, we want to kill people. Yeah, I tell you what, it's like the writers were too pussy to make the characters just brutal, go hard, yeah, fuck them, we're gonna kill them. We still, for some reason, had to have some damn characters in there, like, doing the same old drawn-out debate, you know. I think it was between Rick and Daryl, where they're like, oh yeah, no, we can't kill him, I want to kill him, no, we shouldn't kill him, you know, it's not right, whatever, some crap like that, you know. It was just, I don't know, that's crap, it's just overdone. And then again, the episodes, I feel like they, again, I can't really remember, like I said, because it's not very, it wasn't very memorable, you know. And then they killed Carl, such a mistake. Trying to think back, man. You know, just a lot of, there's some good stuff for the war in there, I guess. The rise up, they, you know, the final thing, the final battle of the season. You know, albeit I did start working at the time that this season came out, so I wasn't able to really invest as much time to really, and energy into focusing and paying attention on Walking Dead, right? But man, you know, it just, again, it feels like it was just okay for the overall war, you know. We had that, did we have that one Terra episode in here, or was that last season? I think that might have been the last season, but Ah, man. Yeah, is it just mediocre? I'm just gonna leave it at mediocre. There's really just not much to say, I don't think, about it. A lot of junkyard stuff in there. We had a good episode with Rick and Michonne in there. I liked. But yeah, again, needed more blended storytelling. Just yeah, mediocre. And the ending, the final battle where they just chase each other kind of around the tree, you know, there was a good atmosphere, good setting. I like the background and everything that they had with all the walkers when Rick's giving his speech. But, you know, they did not need to kill Carl. Just, again, they felt like the audience hated Negan so much that the only way that they were going to forgive that is if, or, you know, give him a chance is for Carl, right? And absolutely that's not the case, right? It wasn't necessary in the comics, and it's not necessary in the show either. So yeah, and Dwight as well, they send Dwight off, right? Because the viewers, we don't want to piss the viewers off with Dwight being around, so, you know, just go away. Just, yeah, pussy storytelling, and yeah, just needed more budget or something, I don't know, but yeah, it was not what I wanted the war to be. Just yeah, so season 9, wow, the first half of that with Rick, those episodes blew me out of the water, because the most traumatic or horrible thing that could happen to Walking Dead, losing Rick, you got some of your best episodes from, which is amazing to me. It's a huge achievement that they met, you know, with those first, I think it was like 5 episodes, you know, that were all just superb. You know, Andrew Lincoln as Rick is just amazing, you know, great actor, heavily underrated, just so good. And yeah, you get so much emotion, and just really memorable scenes everywhere in those episodes. They're all just really well done. Storytelling's good. Dialogue is great. Dialogue really comes back to the forefront to be great in season 9. So yeah, and then the second half, let's see. So after Rick leaves, it's kind of a nice fresh feeling, right? Because it's interesting to see how the group functions, how the whole story functions just without him entirely, right? You know, it's interesting to see, and they do the time jump, right? So it's really, everything's really fresh, and that's interesting as well. Samantha Morton as Alpha, she's amazing. Her accent and everything, she's so creepy, and she has a lot of charisma. She just really does the part really well. You know, of course, you miss Carl. They needed Carl so bad. Maggie as well, you know. But what are you going to do? So I think season 9, they definitely salvaged it, did the absolute best that they could, and delivered heavily with a great season. You know, the Whisperer stuff was really, really cool. They shouldn't have killed off Jesus, though. That sucked, you know, but the actor wanted out, right? So yeah, it's amazing. Season 9 is amazing. Love it. One of my favorites in the time of Walking Dead, when I didn't think I could feel that way about it again. And then season 10, you know, this one's a little choppy for me because of the COVID, kind of breaking it up. It feels like it was like 2 or 3 seasons, right? But it was just the one. But yeah, the big Whisper War. I really like that little poster there, by the way. The X, because Michonne leaves, right? There's another character, but the season 10 for the Roman numeral with the X, and it's Michonne's katanas, right? Pretty cool. So yeah, this season I would say is still just, you know, pretty much continues on with the same vibes as 9, the second half did. You know, not bad. Good dialogue still, you know, from the characters. Daryl definitely picking it up with the dialogue, being better overall. And the Whisper War was done well. You know, was done well. Not disappointed in it like I was with the All Out War. No Beta, you know, awesome. Trying to think. Of course, we had those COVID episodes in there at the end that weren't very good. I don't know if they even count for season 11. But yeah, I just like the Here's Negan one, the Father Gabriel, and Aaron one. But yeah, the rest of them were just absolute trash. Definitely the worst. Below mediocre television. Just I can't even fathom. They don't exist, right? They didn't exist. The soup making episode with Carol and Dog, and what else was in there as well? I don't know. I don't care to remember. But yeah, so season 10, was it right along with? No, I don't think it was right along with 9, of course. But I'll just have to say it was entertaining, right? So there's the list. Looking over it and trying to see if I want to change around anything. I mean, kind of just go off your first inkling. Like I said, I mean, 5. It's so close. But the best storyline, you know, I don't know. Should I? And then this as well could be up here. Let's just say these two, 4 and 5, could go in either. But yeah, definitely solid. This one belongs up here for sure. With 9, and then 6. 6 could go down to entertaining as well. Like I said, these right here could kind of all interchange. So yeah, obviously I'm very passionate about talking about Walking Dead. You know, I could go on for sure. So be happy to do more videos about it. You know, if you like this and want to see anything else, like I said, maybe the Comic-Con trailers ranked, or let's see, characters ranked, or something like that. You know, so. Anyway, I don't want these tier lists to go on too long like they usually do. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.